Anybody lose a button? Button, who's missing a button? I'll put it right back here where I saw it. There. Good morning. Hey, we're going to have a barbecue afterwards, and I'm all set. I've got my barbecuing clothes on, although not barbecue eating clothes on. And I'm almost patriotic. It's almost red, white, and blue. So, I'm good. I'm good. I was talking to Janice this morning, and I said, this silly person that stands up here, this is really actually who a lot of I am, but I don't get to do this a lot because I'm expected to be more proper in some other situations. So I do temper it a little bit, although it leaks out every once in a while. So I told Jan that I said, is that yours?
I think so.
Okay. Where's it missing? No, thank you. Thank you for that. See? Don't question it. Yep. So I said, on my dying bed, I hope I will be able to still be goofy and say things that people go, what? So, the use of the word ain't began in England in 1703. I don't know how they were so explicit about it, but they seem to know that. And quickly found its way to America in the first decade of that century. Surprisingly, the word bore no social stigma at the time. It simply was used as a contradiction of am not. But in 1830, the contradiction had come to be used for is not, and grammarians buckled. Ain't it the truth came into the American dialect in 1915. Acceptable only in banter, this expression has always been grammatically wrong, but at certain times has always felt unexcusably right. And that is the truth, too. Ain't it the truth? Things that make you go, You may be disappointed if you fail, but you are doomed if you don't try. Probably true. I did that one. Didn't I? No, that was the right one. Okay. I know what I'm doing. Not. The modern image of Santa Claus as a rosy-cheeked old man wearing a blush red suit was popularized by American artist Haydn Sundblom in advertisements for Coca-Cola in the 1930s. Coca-Cola hit upon this advertising campaign as a way to boost slumping sales during the winter months of the Great Depression. And that's how we got our Santa Claus as he looks today. We have a couple patron saints, George Carlin and John Lennon. And John, a dream you dream alone is only a dream. A dream you dream together is reality. Just kind of makes me want to go na 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 na. And George, if the Cincinnati Reds were really the first Major League Baseball team, who did they play?
Each other.
I don't know. And one more of the PSA on Save on Prescriptions. And again, this is really interesting that all this stuff is stuff that I talk about in my business. So anyway, when your doctor prescribes when your doctor's prescription pad comes out, always ask why she or he recommends a particular drug. Then ask if there's an effective lower cost alternative, an over-the-counter product, or generic. Do they have free samples? Can you take the half a pill or one every other day? If it's a name brand, ask for no more than a 14-day supply so you can see whether it helps without paying the extra amount for a full month. Then, with script in hand, look for the best deal. The same drug could go from $4 to $354 in your neighborhood. And that is true. People do not realize that pharmacy to pharmacy, it is staggering the different cost of drugs. If you're paying a copay, who cares? But if you're paying a percentage or something, it really, really does pay to shop around. You can also check goodrx.com for the best prices. And also it has coupons on that website also. And of course, check with the manufacturers to see if they have a program going on, because you can frequently get it free or significantly discounted. Depends on income, a lot of different variables. So there's the PSA for today. More t-shirts. I have to stop saying, how stupid can you be? Some people are taking it as a challenge. I'm awesome. Don't question it. Just deal with it. Complaint department, 100 miles. Common sense, so rare, it's kind of like a superpower. We have a barbecue going on today, and if you haven't brought food, it doesn't matter. Please join us. It's $5 per person, $10 for a family. Doesn't matter how many you have in the family. Go get friends and neighbors and say they're from your family. So $10. It is a fundraiser for the church, but it's also fun. Thank you, Joe, for doing all the barbecuing. He's going to be outside in the heat, barbecuing. So, what are we barbecuing? Hamburgers and hot dogs. It's a 4th of July weekend, right? Have to. You know you're getting old when everything either dries up or leaks. Don't think about it too much, please. Just don't think about it. More 45 lessons from a 90-year-old. I'm going to read the next 10. Make peace with your past so it won't screw up the future. It's okay to let your children see you cry. Don't compare your life to others. You have no idea what their journey is all about. If a relationship has to be secret, you shouldn't be in it. Everything can change in the blink of an eye, but don't worry, God never blinks. Take a deep breath. It calms the mind. Get rid of anything that isn't useful. Clutter weighs you down in many ways. Whatever doesn't kill you really does make you stronger. It is never too late to be happy, but it's all up to you and no one else. When it comes to going after what you love in life, don't take no for an answer. There you go. Anybody have a good time on the 4th? Anybody do anything dangerous? Or it sounded like there was a lot of things going on that were dangerous late at night, like 1, 2 in the morning. Our dog was still petrified with all the noises. Sheesh. A wife invited some people to dinner. I've done a lot of these before, but people come and go, so some of them haven't heard of them, and others are going, Phil, you did that a few years ago. This one was actually earlier this year. Really? It's a repeat anyway. A wife invited some people to dinner. At the table, she turned to her 6-year-old daughter and said, "Would you like to say the blessing?" "I don't know. What do I say?" the girl replied. "Just say what you hear Mommy say," the wife answered. The daughter bowed her head and said, "Lord, why on earth did I invite all these people to dinner?" I don't know. I don't know. Fun stuff. I have got an older Eric Clapton song we're going to sing. Maybe. Yes, we are. I do.
Okay, that song made me cry. For those on the video, that was Eric Clapton and If I Could Change the World. And I used to sing that song to myself before we started the Divine Fellowship. If I could just change the world. Well, I can't change the world, but I could change my piece of the world. And if that's what we're about, that's what we're all about. We don't have to change the world. We just change our world. And we change our world by being the love. Being the love. Sorry. That's what I get for letting Phil just play whatever he wants. Because that's how it is. All right, so I'm leaking here. 1 second. My eyes are sweating. What's up with that? I don't know. Okay, I think I've got my set together. Well, for a minute anyway. So I have to tell you about, I got one, I'm fine. For now, I may need more. We'll see. Not that I care about anything intensely or not. Just a clue. This week, the message was really quite fun. Receiving the message. Sometimes it's wonderful. I sit down and I say, all right, what would be good for us to know now? information comes, it's really clear. I look up Bible passages, and it's just exciting and fun. And then there was this week. And this week was, what do we need to know? And I was shown a memory of a little kid. And you know how you do the button thing? Did you ever do this? Where's the one that actually works? Where you put a button on a string? Remember doing this as a kid? We didn't have internet. It's a sad thing. We had to do weird stuff to keep ourselves entertained. So if you do it right, which I can't always do it right, but if you do it right, please do it right. In theory, you can get it going, and it will just keep going. Okay, I'm not going to be able to do it, am I? There we go. And once it gets going, it spins one way, and then spins the other. So, of course, I had this memory, and I said, okay, cool, we'll go make one. Well, memory's not enough. No, go make one. Fine. So I went and made one. Now make it work. Okay, so I had to do that a few times. Make another one. Another one. Okay, so I made another one. So you think you can keep this one going? And pass it on? So let me try one for the other side. That's a huge button. I go to yard. Oh, Sandra.
Like I said, give it to a kid.
He's begging for it.
I did not tell Phil about this earlier. Phil has not had a chance to play with these. This one's harder to do because it's bigger. Okay, I can't get this one going. Do you know how to do this? Have you ever done this? Who's an old person that knows how to do this? Scott, you can do it. Okay, you get to go and see if you can keep it running. Okay, so God and I played with buttons for a while. And I said, okay. And he said, well, it's all about chakras. And I thought, no, chakras don't spin one way and then spin the other, because this is how this goes. It spins one way, and then you pull on the string, and it unwinds itself, and then it spins itself back up, so it keeps going. And he said, no, do the string thing again. So I was playing with this string thing again, and we went like that for a while. I was like, just watch. Watching it go one way, go the other way. That's what you're talking about? No. So what are you talking about? What do I need to know here? What do I need? Just watch. Do you ever talk to God the same way like I do? Okay, so I thought, okay, just be in the moment. That's hard for me sometimes. Just be in the moment, just watch. And it was like, well, the string is like pulsing. Yes, I got this big ring too. Yes, that's what it's all about. That's what the chakras are about. I said, okay, what else do I need to know about that? You know. What do I know? Well, you know. Well, you're not going to clarify for me? No. Keep talking. Keep thinking yourself. So, well, what do I know about chakras and the energy fields, and they help us perceive energy, and there's a give and take of energy, and they start at the crown chakra and the base chakra, and the energy from the higher energy comes in, is grounded, and the grounding energy is elevated, and it comes back and forth, and every fourth year it's in the heart space. And he says, yes, that's what you want to talk about. And I said, okay, what else about that? Okay, every 7 years it cycles through. Fine. So I got my pen and paper. You know, I'm sometimes really resistant. So, from birth to 7, is an odd cycle. It's a 1. So in that cycle, the earth energy is doing an expression. So from year 1 to 7, we express ourselves. And the divine energy in an odd year is a conduit. Energy is flowing through us to be grounded. In an even cycle, which is 8 to 14, we are in a place of the divine energy has already come to the bottom, and now it's coming back up, so it's bringing an ascension energy through. And at the same time, the physical energy has gone to the top, and now it's down. It's time to recharge, redefine, and refine our energy. So depending on what your age is, will tell you where you are in this process of energy regeneration. Because it's like breathing. Breathing out and breathing in. It's like the string coming out and moving back and forth. It's not off the front row here. Trade buttons. I think that other button works better. Anyway, so depending on where you are, if you're somewhere from 1 to 7, you're in that first, you're in that odd, which is you're either you're a conduit for divine energy and an expression of physical energy. 8 to 14, you're in that ascension. Divine energy is in the ascension mode, and the physical energy is recharge, refine, and redefine. If you're 15 to 21, you're in that conduit and expression. That's why teenage years are so hard. Make sense? 22 to 28, nobody's that age. How old are you? How old are you? 11? So you're still in this recharge, refine, redefine, and ascension. So you're safe for a little while longer, Mom. For teenagers. How old are you? 10. Same thing. Cool. 22 to 28. That's again an even, which is ascension and redefining. 29 to 35. That's odd. So that's the conduit of divine energy and the expression of physical energy. So every 4th year in that cycle is when the heart is activated. And it has a container or an expression of both of those energies. So age 4, 11. 11? 11. You're in your heart space right now. 19, 25, 32, 39, 46, 53, 60, 68, 74, 81, 88, 95. I don't think there's anybody here over 100. So if you're at those years, you're in your heart space, meaning that you're balancing this physical energy of divine energy and spiritual energy. And whatever year you're in, our energy fields can get clogged up. How does our energy field get clogged up? Worry, fear. What are some of the things that clog us up? They actually shared with me what clogs up each individual chakra. Because here's what's going on. Your crown chakra and your base chakra are linked. Your base chakra tells you, I have a right to be here. I came here for a purpose. I'm alive. And the crown chakra says, you're alive. And you're more than just your physical being. You are a living being of light. And when they work together, it's really good. But if we have life circumstances that challenge that, we can get blocked up. And when our base chakra is blocked up, we will have feeling of unworthiness, feeling disconnected. When the crown chakra is messed up, that's where we feel disbelief, despair, we feel overwhelmed. or feel overwhelmed by suffering. Not only our own suffering, but the suffering of the world. We take too much on. Does that make sense? So if one of those is off, if your base chakra, if you don't feel worthy enough to be here, crown chakra is not going to function right. They work together. So that functioning together, clearing them together, and helping them be in harmony with one another is really, really important. Your third eye, this is how we perceive, the energy portals in the body is how we perceive energy from one another. So base chakra energy, you'll feel it when someone feels unsafe or someone feels ungrounded. It'll be hard for you to be around them because they'll feel disconcerting for some reason. You may not even know why, and you may not perceive it in your base chakra. You may just feel kind of icky. But that's where that energy is coming into your body. The energy will come in your body everywhere and then go to your heart space. And your heart space reads that energy. So your third eye is how we discern spiritual energy. Okay? And that gets clogged by worry and judgment. And it doesn't have to be my judgment. If I feel you're judging me, my third eye is going to get blocked. That's why so many of us have come from other religious groups, because we felt judged and not in a positive way. And so this third eye chakra, how we perceive spiritually, gets blocked up. And that's why people want to take classes. Let me reopen my third eye. I want to see, I want to experience. Because just receiving that judgment from somebody else is not enough. And this relates also to your second chakra, which is your tribal energy. Where do you belong? Where do you belong? Where do you fit? Where do you fit in your family? Where do you fit in your work environment? Where do you fit in your community? And sometimes we don't look at that. You know, what role do you play in order to fit? As a child, were you the scapegoat? Were you the quiet one? Were you the busy one? What role did you play so you could fit in your tribe and feel safe and feel as if you were a part of the community? Because guess what? We need all those little parts of our community. Sometimes they're not healthy. And that's why we go outside of family to find friends and other community that help us feel safe, help us feel a part of a community. So the second chakra gets clogged up when we get stuck with people pleasing, or we choose isolation. I don't feel safe anywhere, so I'm just going to stay by myself. Well, that'll block you up. More ways than one, I'm sure. Your throat chakra. This one is about speaking your truth, but it's also about hearing somebody else's truth, allowing it to be their truth. You don't have to believe it or disbelieve it, just allowing it to be. But this gets clogged up when we get all stuck in duty, demands, and gossip. Have you ever been around those people that they just love to talk about, oh, and did you hear what happened to the blah, blah, blah? It's ain't it awful? They like to play the ain't it awful game, and it's usually about somebody else. And if they can't talk about a particular person, then they'll talk about government, or they'll talk about the climate, or whatever. And they do an ain't it awful about things that are absolutely out of their control. Clog the throat chakra. And if we're around that too much, it'll clog our throat chakra, even if we're not a part of that. Does that make sense? And your throat chakra is linked in with your solar plexus chakra. This solar plexus chakra is about self-esteem. But when we get caught up in every sentence begins with the letter I, that's not self-esteem. That's compensating for feeling less than. So it means the other chakras are not functioning correctly. So by the time it gets to the third chakra, it's not going to be functioning really well. And self-doubt fits here as well. And then the heart chakra, this is where it gets all clogged up with everybody, all the other chakra stuff. All that other stuff clogs it up. This is where a ring true hits. If you don't have a ring true, man, you're like a ship without a rudder. A ring true is extremely important for our world. I use a ring true for everything. I'm gonna put something in the microwave. I don't use the sensor cook. I go, 40 seconds? Ooh, not okay. That's too much. 30 seconds. Better, but not perfect. 35. Oh, ring true. 35 seconds is perfect. I use my ring true for everything. Oh, I get a call. I'm invited to go somewhere. How do I feel about that? Do I get a ring true? Yes, ring true. Okay, we'll do that. I'm talking to God. Oh, okay, what do I do? Get a ring true. Okay, that's the direction I'm going to go. Without a ring true, then you're relying on everything external from yourself to guide your life. I tell you, that's a hard way to go. And that'll clog your chakras. Nothing worse than a clogged chakra, I tell you. No clogged chakras for us. So the process I have for us today is a really simple process, but I think it's going to be really beneficial for you. Because here's the deal. Once we do this process, your energy fields are flowing like this, a year in each chakra, right? And they get in your heart space, and then they keep going. Okay, so wherever you are in your cycle, if you have a clogged chakra somewhere, if you're full of worry, people-pleasing, stuck with duty, stuck with worry, stuck in judgment, wherever you feel stuck in your life, then this blocks all of you. So the process we're going to do is going to open and clear all of your energy fields. And in so doing, it's like dominoes. Have you ever seen those pictures where they line up hundreds of dominoes and they go tink, and they all go prrrr? So when we get this clearing process done, we're going to go tink, and everything from birth to now is going to line up. Is that cool or what? Is that cool or what? So we can all use that, can't we? And then we're in a place where we can pay attention and go, oh, I'm not okay right now. What just happened? And you can clear. You can stay on top of things and stay clear. Now, I don't mind telling you that when our chakras get clogged, often health issues follow. So when we keep our energy fields open and clear, we can stay healthier. Does that make sense? Not always true. Sometimes we're just sick. But sometimes when we have a clear chakra, then that energy supports the organs that are around that particular chakra, and we can have healing a little faster. So they kind of work together. I'm being directed to talk to you a little bit more about how the chakras work together. Base chakra and crown chakra. I talked a little bit about how they work together because you are divine energy taking physical form, and you have a right to be here. If you ever know someone that has or is considering suicide, could be their crown chakra is off, and it could be their physical chakra, the base chakra is off. So grounding really helps. Let me tell you how to ground. There's a million ways to ground. I'll share with you one, and you might find something that works better for you. One way to ground is to imagine that there is a crystal cave underneath your feet, like maybe 50 feet below your feet. You can imagine that, can't you? Now here's the wonderful thing. When you imagine it, you energetically shift the structure of your mind. And you energetically shift the structure of your physical being. Now with that crystal cave, bring your attention to the top of your head and ask Divine Source to enlighten you. Bring light into your world. And you'll feel living light of love flow through you, and it'll light up all your chakras. That's part of your healing process. But as that does, then just send it through your feet into this crystal cave. And this takes any energy that is not yours, because guess what? We are these little energetic magnets, and we can go to the Walmart and walk past someone and their energy sticks to us. We're the quicker picker-upper. We just suck that stuff up. And it's how long you want to keep that is up to you. But this is a great way to clear it, because anything that is not love and light will just flow out. It just drains out like water out of a bathtub. So just let that drain out. Now the crystal cave is here to absorb that. What color are your crystals? They could be any color. Whatever color they are, they will take this energy that is not of love and light, and now you're chasing it down with this light of love, and it expands this crystal cave, brightens it up so it's now full of divine light. How cool is that? And the divine light is ricocheting around off all those crystals, rainbow colors, bright light. Can you see that? Can you experience that? Now let that shine back up through you, and the divine light and this crystal light meet at your heart space. And how cool is that? That's the fastest, best way I have found to clear, to ground. Because then this takes any energy that you pick up as clutter and discharges it, but it also recharges your batteries, your energetic batteries. Now that's not the process I had planned for you, but I wanted you to know that. Apparently they wanted you to know that as well. So second chakra, this is how you fit in. And the third eye is our perceptions. So if I perceive that no one loves me, I'm not going to fit in anywhere. If I perceive that life is painful, I'm going to find pain in my life. I'm going to bring people into my life that bring me pain. So the perceptions affect how we set up our own community, our own culture, our own tribe. Make sense? That's why I get really upset with some religions, because they are so guilt-based and they're so fear-based. And then people get that set up in their system. And I really am proud of all of you because you've escaped that. You know, it doesn't mean you have to attend here. I don't care where you go. You can go to the Church of the Ever-Nibbling Trout. I don't care. But the point is that you're free from guilt that gets programmed in here. And the really dangerous thing is when we have people that we put in the front of the room and we expect them to be perfect, and then they become human and do something really stupid, and then we're devastated spiritually. Please don't ever do that to me. I am way human. I make lots of mistakes. If you're expecting me to be perfect, not going to happen. Not happening. That's why I think God has me do all kinds of stupid stuff up here, make mistakes up here, a lot. Because then you get the idea, oh, she's one of us. Yeah, that's exactly right. So your throat chakra and your self-esteem. You can't speak your truth if you don't know what your truth is. And all of these build on one another. If I don't know who I am, or I am assuming who I am based on the tribe that I'm in, that treats me like crud, and I don't feel like I'm safe in my world, and my self-esteem now is like not, how can I speak my truth? I'll just spew what I've heard. All you have to do is turn on talk radio. There you go. I don't care which side of the fence you're on that one. But we just spew because we can't come from our heart. We don't know our heart. We can't have a ring true because it's not been activated yet. The energy is coming through year after year, and it's not activated. Our heart's not activated because we're not real. And here's the thing. If you are real, if you know who you are, no one can ever bully you. And if you don't think bullying happens in the workplace, you're mistaken. It does. Intimidation, hostility, brutality. They may not hit you, but you might wish they had. It doesn't happen in grade school. It happens throughout life. But if you know who you are, no one can ever bully you, because it'll be, oh, well, look, you think I'm terrible. What do you know? That's not true. There's something wrong with that. I don't take that on personally. How sad for you. But you're missing out on me. Right? Absolutely. We can bully-proof ourselves in whatever environment we're in by having open and clear chakras. And when we get to our heart space, the heart knows the truth. Your heart knows the truth. We spend way too much time in the noodle. And the noodle is all about judgment. Noodle is all about data. Oh, 10 people tell me I'm ugly. I must be ugly. No, you have 10 stupid people that you're hanging out with. Change your friends. But we get caught up in that because that's the evidence that we see. That's not evidence. That's not evidence. So, being in our heart space is absolutely vital for us to thrive and to flourish and to be who we really are, to be creative, thinking outside the box, doing it differently, being what we came here to be.